Hey there, welcome to day 4. Now that you've practiced some lower body length and a low back release treatment, we want to flip the map. And this is a really important concept of MELT, is learning which sequences in which order are going to make the most profound changes when you go back to reassess. Sometimes doing the exact same moves in a different order will yield a change. And as you become a savvy body melter, that's really an important component so that you can spend less time melting and more time in your active lifestyle. Now, just over the last few days, have you noticed any changes in some of the subtle things in your body? Maybe you're sleeping more soundly, or you're noticing that you have more vibrancy through the day. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel as stiff as the dried out sponge left out overnight on your kitchen sink, or you just feel like your back has less tension through the day. All of these are signs that your connective tissue system is starting to restore its efficiency and your autopilot has a better connection to your center of gravity. This is really the first step in eliminating chronic pain and getting your body into a more balanced state so that you can lead a more active, healthy life. So today, all we want to do is flip the map. So yesterday we started with the lower body length techniques. Today we're going to go back to the rebalance and upper body length sequence, and then we're going to add the lower body length and low back release sequence to it. I'm going to leave the neck release techniques out, but tomorrow we are going to dive in a little bit to that and see if we can refine some of your techniques. Of course, that one particular treatment is so profound, and with the full roller, it really makes massive impact in both shoulder stability and neck mobility. So if you have your rolled up towel, go ahead and set it aside, and let's begin with our basic rest assess. I want you to lie on your back, palms faced up, arms and legs extended, and just take some nice focused breaths in, feeling your body expand, breathing out, feeling your body relaxing. Give yourself permission, go into your body, use your body sense, scan your masses and spaces. And the first thing I want you to key into is there any tension in your legs that maybe you could just relax and soften a little bit more? Just allow your body to just release into the floor. Use your body sense. Let's identify some of the common imbalances. Remember, in your upper body, if you're feeling all your back weight's on your shoulder blades, way up in the upper 1/3 part of your back, or you're feeling unnecessary tension in your mid-back curve, if the mid-back is feeling more lift and tense than the low back curve below the belly button, if you're noticing your tailbone is very pronounced to the ground instead of two evenly weighted butt cheeks, or the back of the thighs feel off the floor instead of nice and relaxed on the ground. Remember, those are the 4 common imbalances we want to commit to memory, because if we've got 1, 2, 3, or all 4, we know that our autopilot needs our help, and we can activate that through the neural core and releasing our low back. Now, we could also take a moment to turn our head left and right, noticing for limited range or pain. And then if we bring our head back to center, key into your autopilot. Just tune in, ear to heel, left and right sides. Do you feel balanced from left to right, or again, is accumulative stress still interfering with your autopilot's efficiency? Now remember what you felt like yesterday. You might find that some of the common imbalances are starting to dissipate, which is a really good indication that your body is keeping some of the changes we're looking to maintain. So remember what you feel, bend your knees, go ahead and roll on your side, come on up to sitting, and let's take that roller down onto the floor. And we're going to lie the length of our towel from hip to head. So nice and slow, go ahead and roll yourself on down. Make sure that the top of your head is on the roller as much as your pelvis, feet hip width apart, and we're going to begin with our gentle rocking. Remember, this is a way to reconnect your autopilot to your center of gravity just by challenging your balance on the unstable surface. And listen, no matter how good you get at melting, when you do the rebalance sequence or any of the treatments where we lie the length of the roller, we always begin with gentle rocking, because we want our nervous system to pick up that sensation along the spine without having a stress response. We never have pressure on our spine. So here we're just giving our nervous system time to adapt to that unusual pressure. And then come back to a center point, place your hands onto the front of your pelvis. And now that you know how to do the tuck and tilt, remember 2 key tips here. Feet stay light, ribs stay relaxed. You're going to exhale as you move. It's a good thing to start to key into that breath. Taking a sip of air, untucking, go back to the tilt. Remember, tucking, pubic bone curls toward the nose. Tilting, the back of the pelvis gets heavy, the low back curve gets light. 2 more times, tucking the pelvis and tilting the pelvis And one more time, tucking the pelvis and tilting the pelvis. Find somewhere in between your tuck and tilt, one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Begin to take 3 slightly slower than normal breaths into the front and back of your body, expanding the torso from center to the hands and feet. So remember, inhaling into the front and back body, equal timing, feeling your chest and your belly both rise up, and then allowing it to release. One more time, slightly slower than normal inhalation, front and back body, and then breathing out. Then both hands come to the sides of the body, breathing width into your torso. I always like to think about my ribs when I breathe in, expanding outside of the ribs, outside, expanding from my spine to the sides of my ribs and beyond. Exhaling. And one more time, nice slow breath in. And then exhale. And then one hand down onto your pubic bone, one hand up onto your collarbones, breathing length through the torso, really feeling that breath come down into your pelvis. You might not feel it, so really take your time. Take those slower than normal breaths, really thinking about that breathing in, expanding the body like a cylinder lengthwise, and then breathing out and feeling it come back to the midline. And one more time, lengthening through. And breathing out. Then go ahead and put both hands onto your belly. Take a nice excited breath in. Make your SH, SE, or HA sound to activate the core reflex. Shh. Feel that hugging action. Try it again. And then this time, take a excited breath in. See if you can feel and follow that exhalation, feeling the core reflex activate with your conscious mind. Feel and follow it. Enhance your awareness of it. Inhale, feel yourself let it all go. And again, let your natural exhale initiate the breath, and then feel and follow that engagement. Then take your arms up into the air. Elbows are going to stay straight. And again, allow the shoulder blades to float up and away from the rib wall, and then glide back along the side. Shoulder blade reach hydrates the tissue between the shoulder girdle and the rib wall. It's a really great way to alleviate unnecessary tension along the cervical spine, along your neck. Let's go one more time, reaching the arms up, and then letting the arms come back down. Let's try our double arm reach. Again, we're going to allow the arms to open up. Remember, the hands, I want you to imagine that they're staying more angled closer to your hips rather than out to the sides of your shoulders to get more of that fascial tension all the way along to the spine. So again, as we're cupping the arms, remember the hands are above the level of the torso. And then once we've got our arms in place, we just flex and extend the wrists back and forth, either with the palms open to create that neural flossing up to the chest, or making a fist and isolating it more to the forearms. We can turn our palms face down and finding a little bit more of the back line, extending and flexing. I feel that more up onto your forearms. Again, making a fist and doing it, isolating it more to the wrists. And then take a nice breath in on your exhale. Find your core. Let your palms come on down to the ground. Collarbones are wide. Shoulder blades are nice and relaxed. Pressing that right palm down to the ground. Nose tips up a little bit. Just a slight turn with your head to the left. And then energize your right arm away from that head turn. Breathing in, feeling the intensity of the fascial pull down that right arm. Exhaling, finding your core. Bringing your head back to center, pressing your left hand down to the ground, subtly turning your head a little bit to the right, breathing into the arm, feeling the intensity of the breath in the arm, exhaling, finding your core. Coming back to the center again, try turning your palms faced up. I love this one. Turning my head a little bit to the left, energizing my right thumb into the ground, really feeling that fascial pull, that deep front arm line. Notice if your shoulders want to pop up. Allow the collarbones to remain wide there. Really find the full fascial tension over the collarbones. And then exhale, and coming over to the other side, noticing if you're arching your back or you're getting tense along the spine. Breathing in, exhale. And then coming back to the center with your head. Take your time, allow your arms to relax. Go ahead and roll yourself off of your roller and just slide the towels out from under you. Let's just take that quick check-in just to see what's going on. Just from doing the rebalance, just notice how your body receives that change. Noticing if the ribs are more relaxed instead of weight on the shoulder blades. Notice if the arch of the back is less tense. If the butt cheeks or the back of your thighs have settled to the floor. Divide yourself into a left and a right half. Do you feel more balanced from left to right? And just take the quick check-in with your neck turn and just notice if just doing rebalance with some upper body rehydrate techniques actually releases a little bit of tension to the neck. Okay, so take your time, bend your knees, roll on your side. We're going to take that towel, and remember, you could just use one towel. You don't need them both for this one. But what we want to do is roll up the towel into a nice thick roll, a little bit thicker than when we had the two towels run lengthwise. And remember, if you are a little bit taller than I am, remember I'm about 5'6", some of my clients really do like a slightly higher, firmer roll. So you could add that second roll to it, but again, it's really about your body height. It's just about what's comfortable to you. The roller is going to make a lot more of an impact with this treatment. So now same thing, we're going to go ahead and bend our knees. We're going to lift up our hips, bring the roller underneath the back of the pelvis. So remember, we want the roller to feel, the towel to feel like it's right underneath the back of the pelvis. It's not on our low back. Good way to tell is if you bring your knees into your chest, remember top of your hip bones are not being restricted by that towel. Feel like you can really get that nice movement in your back. Now, go ahead and set your feet down. Remember, we want to do another assessment technique, another reconnect technique called a modified tuck and tilt challenge. So remember, just tucking and tilting the pelvis just like you did when you were lying the length of the roll or of the towel. If you want, put your hands on your ribs and just use this as an evaluation without pushing into your feet. Can you tuck without your belly paunching up and getting tense in the front of your abdomen? And when you tilt, allowing the back of the pelvis to get heavy, but not letting those mid-ribs carry along with the motion. Just tucking and tilting a few times. Use it as your assessment. Okay, so we're going to change the order of our treatment today from what we did the first day. So we're going to start with our hip to heel press. You're going to take your left leg, you're going to kick it out low and long, flex your foot. Remember, right foot is light on the floor, and we're slowly going to bring that leg up. We're going to stop before our knee wants to bend or we get perpendicular. We're going to take a breath in, and to get the fascial pull, we're going to flex our foot, and in equal timing, we're going to try to actively tilt our pelvis onto the top of the roller. Just think about the length between your pubic bone and your belly button. Inhale, ease back some tension. Exhale, and flexing. And then let that go. Let's try that on the other side. You're going to kick that right leg out low and long, nice light footing. And here we go. We're going to bring that leg on up. Again, we're going to stop before the leg gets perpendicular. We want to bend the knee. And we're going to flex the foot and tilt the pelvis onto the top of the roller. Again, feeling that fascial tension down the leg. And then we're going to let that go. Now, remember we had the tuck and tilt challenge and the low back release. So we're actually going to add that first before we do our bent knee press. So you're going to go ahead and bring your legs up, put your hands in front of your thighs, and we're going to gently press our thighs into our hands. Keep your heels slack to your butt cheeks. And here we go. We're going to try to tuck our pelvis, noticing if there's any changes in your upper body. Notice where the weight of your ribs are, and then untuck your pelvis, land your pelvis back to the top of the roller. Are your thighs still pressing into your hands is the question. If you lost those, try it again. Take a breath in. On an exhale, tuck your pelvis. Keep your thighs pressing into your hands. Take a breath in. On an exhale, keep your thighs pressing and then untuck back to the tilt. Let's go 2 more times. Exhale and tuck. Taking a breath in. Exhale and tilt. One more time. Exhale and tuck. And then take a breath in and exhale and tilt. Now keep your tilt, keep everything the same, just take a breath in, and on your exhale, make your SH, SE, or HA sound and think about 3 points of compression. As you're exhaling, press your thighs to your hands, ribs to the floor, pelvis to the top of the roller, hold that traction. Inhale, ease back some pressure. Exhale, thigh to the hand, ribs to the floor, pelvis to the top of the roller in the tilt. Holding, holding, holding all the way through your exhale. And then nice and slowly, set your left foot down to the ground. Ball of the big toe, outside of the foot, and then send your heel down. Remember, we're going to imprint the foot to the floor and then go after our tuck. So as we tuck our pelvis, we're going to accentuate the tuck by drawing our right knee towards our chest, our pubic bones curling towards our nose. And now I want you to think about energizing your left knee over your toes, getting that full fascial pull through active participation. Remember, use muscle to lengthen connective tissue. Inhale, ease back some tension, and then exhale, and again, push, pull. Beautiful. Then just ease your pressure back, bring your left leg up, bring your right foot down, ball of the big toe, outside of the foot, center of the heel. Really feel like you're imprinting that foot to the ground. Go into your tuck, energize your right knee over your toes, and then accentuate the tuck by bringing your left knee in towards your body as you energize that right knee over the toes. Inhale, ease back some pressure. Again, actively tuck and then energize your right knee over your toes. And then go ahead and let that go. So now lift up your hips. Take your roll out from underneath your pelvis. Go ahead and lie flat on your back, palms faced up, arms and legs extended. Go back and reassess again. Tune into your masses and spaces. Now this time I didn't do anything to release your neck. We didn't do the neck release. We just hydrated the upper body, but we're drawing fluid flow from the lower body up. So let's start in the lower body. Notice if the back of your thighs or your pelvis are more relaxed to the ground. Notice if the arch of the back, if you've really decompressed your low back, it's a very distinctive feel. It'll feel more lifted and spacious but less tense, and your mid-ribs will feel more relaxed to the ground. You know you've done the low back decompress properly. If in your upper body you're feeling more of the rib weight, less of the shoulder girdle weight, and turn your head left and right. You might have freed up some range or decreased pain, and that's really that transformation through the neural core just by rehydrating the tissue and activating it through that tuck and tilt challenge. Bring your head back to center. One final thing to notice is your autopilot. Divide yourself into a left and a right half. If you feel less offset from left to right and you're feeling more balanced in your body, I want you to really key into something very subtle here, is that your body actually makes a wave formation. We are a fluid system. Head is down, neck is up. Ribs are down, low back is up. Pelvis is down. You have a gluteal fold right where your legs begin. It's a little lift. Back of thigh are down, knees are up. Calves are down, ankles are up, and feet are down. So notice if you've got that sensation of that wave formation. That's a really profound thing to sense. Bend your knees, roll yourself on your side, and come on up to sitting. So what I also want you to notice is as you're becoming more proficient with the treatments, how the movements just kind of come one after the other. So as you practice these sequences on your own, they should take you about 10 minutes a day. Now tomorrow, I'm going to add a couple of lengthening techniques to the lower body called hip to heel rotate and hip to heel cross, especially for those of you who have sciatica or back pain. It's a great next step to try to restore some of the fluid components of your connective tissue system. I hope you're enjoying the treatments. Keep practicing. Happy melting.